Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you people are doing fantastic. We all know that we started with the chapter tissues. Under that, we have completed the plant tissues. We discussed each and everything about a plant tissue, isn't it? So there are two types of plant tissue. One was meristematic, the other one is permanent. Again, in the permanent, we have simple permanent, complex permanent, about xylem, phloem, everything we discussed. And one small part is remaining under plant tissue, that is about epidermis. Okay. Today, let us discuss about epidermis. See, this epidermis is very simple, guys. This is the outermost covering that is present in almost all parts of the plant body. Okay. The stem has a outermost covering. We call it as epidermis. Leaf also has a covering. The roots has a covering. The branches have a covering. Each and every part you take in a plant, it has an outermost covering. That covering, we call it as epidermis. Okay. So what is the use of this epidermis? To protect the plant body. Say for example, this marker, when I bought it newly, it had a covering. Anything, when you buy it newly, it will have a plastic covering. We should take out that covering and then use the substance, isn't it? Even the marker also, when I bought it newly, it was having a plastic covering for the protection purpose. That's it. So, like the plastic covering around a marker, you also have a covering on all parts of a plant body. That itself, we will call it as epidermis. Okay. And it's a very thin layer, guys. Just the epidermis is made up of single layer cells. Just one layer, thin layer containing cells you will observe in the plant parts, right? Which we call it as epidermis. Let us try to write few points about epidermis. Okay, so what is the epidermis? It is an outermost protective covering where it is present on all parts of a plant. All parts of a plant body. Yes or no? It is present in roots, leaves, stem, branches, everywhere you will observe. Okay. And epidermis is made up of, right? Epidermis is made up of single layered cells. Single layer cells. Okay. And let us talk about the cells now. Okay. The cells are very thin, guys. Very thin cells you will have and irregularly shaped. Irregularly shaped. You don't have a specific shape for the cells. You don't have a specific round shape or square shape, cube shape, right? There is no particular shape. Irregularly shaped cells you will observe. Okay? And also, you will observe intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces are present. Clear? Say for example, I will draw a leaf now. Say if this is a leaf, the very much surface, the surface that you see with your eyes, that surface is what? When you touch it, initially, that starting layer present on a leaf itself is what? Epidermis. Okay. Say it is a layer of cells, guys. There is no shape. Okay. This is one cell, this is second cell, third cell, fourth cell, fifth cell, sixth cell, like that many cells would be there in a layer, right? So this is how the epidermis of a leaf looks like. Clear? Fine. And between one cell and another cell, what you will find? Intercellular spaces. Okay. So here I will draw. This is one cell. This is second cell. Okay. This is third cell. This is fourth cell. Okay. You can observe the spaces between the cells. See, this is the space between these three cells. Yes or no? And here you have a space. Here there is a space. These spaces between the cells only we will call it as intercellular spaces. Isn't it? So this is how normally epidermal cells look like. Okay, very thin walls they will have, and you will have spaces between the cells, and they form a continuous layer. Epidermal cells will form continuous layer. There will not be any breakage in the layer. Okay, full smooth continuous layer you will observe. Clear? And now, what is the main use of epidermis? I told you. The main use is to protect the plant body. Okay, along with the protection, it can also do some job. It can also help the plant body in doing some activities. Okay, in participating some activities. Clear? Let us discuss them one by one. Okay. First, let us try to discuss epidermis of a leaf. Epidermis of leaf. Okay. Usually, the leaf epidermis is continuous. No doubt, you will have a single layered cells. Let me draw. Okay, this is one cell. This is another cell. Okay, I am drawing the epidermal cells present in a leaf. This is how epidermal cells you will observe in a leaf. Okay, actually, in between the cells of epidermis, you will observe a small pores, guys. Okay, actually these pores are surrounded by certain structures like this. See, in the epidermis only, you will observe some structures like this. Okay, here one more structure I will draw. And you see, there is a small hole. Actually, this is a small hole. You will have a small hole. This is a hole. That hole is surrounded by these structures, the black colored structures that I have drawn. These are actually called as, these small holes are there, no? They are called as stomata. Stomata, very, very important word, guys. So what do you mean by a stomata? Small pores present in between epidermal cells of a leaf is called stomata. Okay, so this small hole itself we will call it as stomata. What is the use of stomata? Through stomata, the gases can be exchanged. The plant needs carbon dioxide now for the photosynthesis. Where does the photosynthesis takes place, guys? Photosynthesis takes place in leaves, right? And the leaf needs the carbon dioxide gas for the photosynthesis. How do the carbon dioxide gas is going inside to the leaf? It is going through these small pores, that is holes. Okay, so after photosynthesis, oxygen gas the plant gives outside. So how is this oxygen gas coming out from a leaf? Again, it is through these small holes, which we call it as stomata. Okay, so where are these small holes present, guys? In the epidermis of a leaf only. In that outermost covering, you will have a small holes here and there. Okay, so that is what we call stomata. So now let us write the use of stomata. So what happens in stomata? Exchange of gases takes place through stomata. Okay, exchange of gases in the sense what, guys? Carbon dioxide gas comes in, oxygen gas goes out. Yes or no? Okay, it has to come through this hole into the leaf, carbon dioxide gas. In the same way, oxygen gas also should go out from a leaf through these holes only. So that is the main use of stomata here. Okay, and this small hole, always it will not keep getting opened. Okay, always it is not open. It will be opening and closing of this hole is controlled by this kidney shaped cells. See the black color kidney shaped cells I have drawn here, isn't it? So these cells are actually called as guard cells. Okay, so what I can write here is opening and closing of stomata. Stomata itself means that small hole. Clear? Opening and closing of stomata is maintained by kidney shaped cells called guard cells. And actually, when does the stomata is open and how the stomata is closed, how these kidney cells are helping the hole to get open and close, all this you will learn it in next year. Okay, that is in the 10th standard. Now, don't worry too much. Just try to remember, in the epidermis, here and there, you will find a small holes or pores. We call them as stomata. And stomata, every time it will not keep open. Okay, whenever oxygen gas has to go out or carbon dioxide gas has to come in, that point of time only it will get opened. So who will maintain this opening and closing of that small pore? It is maintained by kidney shaped cells called guard cells. Clear? This much you try to remember, that is more than enough. Yeah. So where do you find the stomata, guys? It is found in the epidermis of a leaf. Leaf has a covering, right, which we call it as epidermis. So in the epidermis you will find that stomata. So what is the main use of stomata? Exchange of gases takes place through stomata. Okay, so this is one important use of epidermis that is present in a leaf. Along with the protection, it is also giving a space for stomata to present in it, right? So we have so much use with the stomata. Clear? Fine. And now let us go for the epidermis of a root. See, let us discuss about epidermal cells of roots. Okay. So we all know how the root is present. Imagine this is a root and root will have a root hair. So no small root hairs would be there. And this root hair will contain a cell, guys. Okay, the root hair may contain a single cell or it may contain 2 to 3 cells. Okay, the root hair may contain a single cell or it may contain 2 to 3 cells. And this root hair helps in the absorption of water from a soil. Okay, say from a root the water gets absorbed, and the water passed to the leaf. For the photosynthesis, even water is necessary. So how will the water enters into a plant body? From a soil. Okay, that is through roots. Actually, roots will have a root hair. The root hair is made up of with epidermal cell. Okay, so what I can write here is root hair has epidermal cells. Epidermal cells which are long. Okay, these epidermal cells are long. Okay, so they are not like this. They are long cells. This is how the cells look like in the root hair. Clear? So which are long and helps in the absorption of water from soil. Clear? Along with the protection, it can protect the root and root hair. Along with the protection, what is one more duty the epidermal cells can do here? They can absorb water from a soil. And these water later passed to the main root, from main root through the xylem, it will be passed to all parts of the plant. Isn't it? So that is the epidermal cells present in the roots. Okay, now let us discuss the plants in dry habitat. Okay, in plants of dry habitat in the sense the desert area. You might have observed the leaves of plants in a desert area. How do they look? They look very thick. Yes or no? They don't look like a normal thin leaves. The leaves are very much thick. And you feel the surface so smooth, waxy. You will have that wax feeling if you touch it. Yes or no? So it is because the epidermis is very much thick in those leaves. Clear? Say in plants of dry habitat, epidermis in the leaf is thick and waxy. Okay, so why the epidermis is very much thick and waxy here? It is to avoid the escape of water from the leaf. Okay, it is to avoid transpiration. A new word for you. Transpiration. What do you mean by transpiration, guys? Transpiration is nothing but escape of water, that is H2O, from leaves is called transpiration. Okay, so usually whatever the leaf you take, definitely you will have the small holes in the leaf called stomata. Through stomata, water also can escape into atmosphere. Imagine if the entire amount of water in the leaf goes into atmosphere, where will the plant get water from? Already the plant is there in a dry habitat, that is in a desert area. Yes or no? The water is very much less in the desert area. The plant must store the water, guys. Okay, say to avoid transpiration, that is to avoid escape of water from a leaf, the epidermis is designed in such a way that the cells are very much thick here and they create a kind of waxy chemical. Okay, so that's the reason the leaves of those plants living in a desert area are very much thick and you have that wax coating on a leaf so that the escape of water can be avoided. That is, you can avoid transpiration there. Okay, so these are the various uses of epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost covering in almost all parts of a plant. What is the use? Protection. Along with the protection, the epidermal cells, in between the epidermal cells of a leaf, you can have a small holes which we call it as stomata. You all know what is the use of stomata, right? And also the epidermal cells present in the root hair can absorb water from a soil. Right? So this is one more duty the epidermal cells can do, and the other duty is the plants which are there in the desert area, okay, where you will observe lot of transpiration usually because the area is very much dry. More and more water may go out from a leaf. To avoid that, how does the epidermal cells are designed in those plants? They are designed in such a way, they have a waxy coat and the cells are very much thicker. Okay, so that transpiration can be avoided. Clear? And also it can give extra protection for the leaf, right? So this is all about epidermis, guys. With this, I complete about the plant tissues. In my next class, we will discuss about the animal tissues. So remember one point, guys, animals are very much different than plants, isn't it? Plant tissues were very simple in their structure, in their duty, they are very simple. But animal tissues are not like that. Animal body itself is a very much complex body, right? It's a very much difficult body. It has so many specialized organs, specialized tissues and various things. So the animal tissues are going to be very much different than the plant tissues. Okay, because the animals have a very much complex body type compared to plant. And animals need more energy compared to plants. Plants doesn't require more energy, guys, because they will not move. The plants will not move. They won't go from one place to another place. They won't run. They won't jump. They won't talk. Energy needs are very much less in plants. But energy requirements or energy needs are very much greater in case of animals. Okay, say that's the reason animal tissues are complex tissues compared to plant tissues. They are not a simple tissues like the plant tissues. They are very much complex, guys. So let us learn about animal tissues in my next video. Till then, keep revising the plant tissues. Become perfect with the concept. Clear? And if you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.